All right. Now, here, we're going to shift gears a little bit. What are your thoughts on the International Children's Bible?
Awesome. So
I've heard this online a few times.
I looked this up because somebody asked about it, and you guys know our general response on Bible translations is a good Bible is the one you're going to read.
Yes.
There are some Bibles that are bad.
Yeah, there are.
Throwing out there, New World Translation, horrific translation. The Passion Translation, a horrific translation. But there are some good stuff out there. And there's stuff that's just like, oh, that's so cool. It's cool. So I looked at the ICB, and it's a solid Bible for children. It's written for like a third grade level.
It is.
As a whole. And like the New Living Translation, it's a faithful translation of the scriptures using the dynamic equivalent philosophy. Now, that's a lot of words. So what that means is there's two ways of looking at translations. There's word for word and thought for thought. And we go deeper into this in a video that we had couple of months ago talking about Bible translations, if you guys want to check that out. But it boils down to, because language is hard.
ancient languages, ancient Near Eastern languages are very hard.
Right. And there's not a one-for-one with everything.
There's not. A lot of their language was conceptualized. Some was built off of pictographic languages.
Right.
And there's a lot of intricacies to looking at an ancient Near Eastern language and translating those ideas and those thoughts and those contexts to the way that we talk today. There's a lot happening there.
Exactly. So when you translate stuff, you have to either go word for word or you do a idea to idea, if you will. And the problem with word for word is it gets wooden.
Yeah.
So this would be like your ESV, New American Standard.
Yeah.
Those are your word for word translations. King James, New King James, those are more in your word for word also.
Yeah.
But then you have your thought for thought or your idea for idea, however you want to call it. And this is where they go, okay, this is the idea. We need to make this accessible.
Right.
And so we're going to put it in a language people get it and hopefully it gets across. So that's what the ICB is. And I make it akin to the New Living because like New Living, it's very much a thought for thought. It's a really faithful translation. One thing that they both do though is that when because there's certain things that just don't translate as far as cultural divides.
Right. and considering that you're talking to children.
Right, exactly. So what they've done is, and again, they both do this, ICB does this, New Living does this, NIV does this a little bit, is they will paraphrase some sections, but keeping it as faithful as they can to the actual verse itself,
Right.
the actual text. And so as a whole, it's solid. It's good. I like it, especially for kids. With it being a thought for thought, you do miss nuance.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing about it. It's great for reading, your daily reading, and even some studying, but there's just some nuance you will miss in studying it.
Yeah, and keep in mind, especially when you're talking about children's Bible, and sometimes even student Bibles, that these Bibles are tools that are meant to be alongside careful guidance from a parent,
right?
From a teacher, from a
that's
pastor,
good.
from a discipleship standpoint.
Right.
You have to look at those things as discipleship tools as you're trying to lead a young person in understanding what the Word of God says.
Oh yeah, totally. And I'm glad you brought that point because that's a discipleship aspect. Again, thought for thought's not bad and it's good. And again, this is written for a third grade level. If you're an adult, I really recommend New Living or NIV if you're looking for more of that dynamic equivalent. But get some discipleship.
Yeah.
The ICB is built for parents.
Yeah.
To walk through the Bible with their kids, to answer the hard questions.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like the best question kids could ever ask: did Adam and Eve have belly buttons?
Right. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Go find a theologian that knows the answer to that.
Oh man, so cool beans. Random question for you guys: what's your favorite Bible for kids? Leave a comment down below. Let us know.